All right, we're back to talk the face of baseball in 2022. We got 4 candidates. We're going to have a heated debate. We're going to tie that into their first Bowman and their prices and let you guys decide who do you think is the face of baseball and who should you be investing in. Now, we're not going to talk about Mike Trout because Mike Trout's been in the league for over 10 years. He's old news. We're talking about the guys that may be the face of baseball for the next 10 years. So we've got Shohei Ohtani. We got Bryce Harper. We got Juan Soto, and we got Fernando Tatis. So let's dive right into it. Cody is going representing Juan Soto, who has the highest price by far of a first Bowman at over $7,000. Cody, why do we think Juan Soto could be the face of baseball?
All right, I am going to bat here for Juan Soto. Why am I doing that? Well, I think this guy, to put it lightly, is the Ted Williams in the modern era. I mean that. I know that sounds like hyperbole. I know that sounds crazy. The man led the league in walks last year. He led the league in on-base percentage. You don't do that when you're, 23, 24 years old? That's not how this works. That's not how baseball works. Juan Soto has broken baseball. Yes, I know he doesn't play in as good a team and as good a lineup as some of these other guys we're going to talk about, but I think that you account for getting off to a great start early in his career. Already has a World Series under his belt. Started at 19 years old. So
World Series don't matter, Cody.
Well, you got a long track record. There's a lot of awards and a lot of trophies this kid can rack up, and he's not even in the prime of his career. And I think he's also one of the few guys on this list that I think changing teams, which I kind of suspect is going to happen someday for him, unless the Nationals decide to offer him all the money in the world, which is how you're going to have to sign him. But I think he's one of those guys that changing teams is going to improve his value. And the chase for him in the free agent market is going to be bananas if he hits the market. And I think he's destined to go to one of those big market teams, which I think is only going to help his value. It's not a guy that you're going to just buy his cards. I think if you're still looking to buy,
might have to take out a mortgage.
Yeah, if you want to buy low on him right now, it's basically his rookie card, which is still, I think, floating around about $300 for like his base rookies. So it's not a buy low guy, but it's a guy that I genuinely believe can be one of the 5 best hitters baseball has ever seen when it's all said and done.
Okay.
I mean it. I mean it.
You start the conversation talking walks, and then you're like, he's going to be the greatest hitter of all time?
Yes. You look at his 162-game average right now, 34 home runs a season, 160 OPS plus. Again, disgusting, ungodly numbers. Absolutely nuts. This guy is going to be, if he stays healthy and he plays in the right place, I genuinely believe Juan Soto, a Hall of Fame talent, a all-time type of talent, if everything plays right.
I didn't know we were doing sabermetrics on the show, but Dan,
why don't you tell us how you really feel about him?
I didn't know we were doing sabermetrics.
Hey,
digging into that.
There ain't no sabermetrics. That's that. We're way past that. Moneyball, like that's ancient history now. Get with the times, guys.
So Dan is representing the oldest player on this list and probably on the back end of his career. But Dan thinks that Bryce Harper could be the face of baseball. Dan, great value at $1,700. I'll give you that. That's the only thing I'll give you. But why should people? I mean, the Nationals won after Bryce Harper left. The year after he left,
thanks to Juan Soto,
won the World Series. So why is Bryce Harper the face of baseball?
Look at him. There's not a guy in baseball that looks more like a baseball player than that gentleman right there.
Is it the hair, the beard, or
the hair, the beard, the glasses? I mean, he's a whole package. So, and there's no secret. I have a man crush on Bryce Harper. I wish he was actually signed by the Giants when he was a free agent, which got close. Huge fan of Barry Bonds. You should love him. He loved Barry Bonds growing up.
Did you send him a Valentine's Day card? Or?
I did.
Nice.
I did.
Some of those.
But no, I mean, two-time MVP. He did have a couple, years where he was a little injured, didn't put up the stats, but you can't blame not winning the World Series on Bryce Harper leaving. I think that all stars aligned. But everything that he does, everything right. And he is like truly, I believe, the face of baseball.
Maybe the a-hole of baseball. A lot of people don't like him.
I don't understand that. That's a common misconception, though. Doing an event with him, he is one of the nicest guys that I've met. I would actually put him up there with Mike Trout. Mike Trout's a really nice guy as well. And they're buddies, and I have a feeling that Mike Trout will be a Philly at some point. They will play together.
I have a question for you. If he didn't look that way, would you still say he was the face of baseball?
It's a maybe. In order to be the face of baseball, you got to have a good-looking face, right? There it is.
I didn't know we were doing that today. 'Cause
Sorry.
I'm sure there's other candidates in the league. Chris Bryant might be able to jump up on there in that
Chris
list
Bryant,
as well.
He's okay. He's no Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, he does it all.
Brandon Crawford, if we're going that route.
Are you saying that you wouldn't want Bryce Harper to be a Giant?
No.
You wouldn't want, Cody, you wouldn't want Bryce Harper to be a Giant?
I would want nothing more than for Bryce Harper to be a member of the San Francisco Giants.
a clown question?
Even though I am wearing a Cubs hat today, yes, I would love nothing more.
Who's the face of the Cubs?
Frank Schwindel. Yeah,
Crickets
times have not been friendly at the friendly confines.
I actually have a question. No pitchers on this list.
Well, I mean, if we're going from a
excuse-
hobby
well,
angle,
excuse-
wait a minute.
Excuse me.
I think that's a
What?
nice transition to
There
the
we go.
next.
Emily, representing Shohei Ohtani, E-Money over here.
Hello.
Shohei Ohtani. Why is he the face of baseball?
I'm a little perplexed that we're even having this conversation. It shouldn't even be a conversation as far as I'm concerned. Shohei Ohtani is 100% the face of baseball. I mean, just like we were talking before we even started this, a rule was literally created for him. So you have that going for him. He is not just obviously reaching the American audience. He's a global superstar at this point. He was named one of Time's 100 most influential people in 2021. You can't really argue against that guy. And also, somebody here, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or name any names, but somebody said he looked like a superstar, just like his face, just a superhero, I believe. So we're talking the face of baseball, which was Dan's argument with Bryce Harper. So you can't say anything bad about this guy.
He's injured all the time. That's it.
No,
I mean,
well-
he's injured all the time.
If you want to start talking injuries, we'll get into your pick
yeah,
next.
okay.
So we have
Just take some
plenty.
time off.
We have plenty of time
Mr.
for
IL
that.
coming up.
We have plenty of time for that.
The
But
motorcycle rider.
I mean, look at you can't argue him. AL MVP.
Well, what I can argue is the fact that he was hitting well when pitchers were hitting, and now pitchers aren't going to bat anymore. So is he just going to be a regular hitter? That's it. He's just going to be a average guy.
Well,
because before it was like he's a great hitter because he's a pitcher.
Well,
whoa.
what Emily was alluding to, the new rule that's been instituted is basically the Shohei Ohtani rule, where now if a pitcher who was put in as the designated hitter exits the game as a pitcher, they can remain in the lineup as a DH. So, look, I think Juan Soto will be the face of baseball. But if you told me right now in this very moment, it's Shohei Ohtani.
It's Shohei Ohtani. It's Shohei.
Maybe the face of
Ohtani.
2021 baseball, I'll give you that. But going forward, we got to see some kind of longevity from this guy. But I do like the price at $2,700. There's one thing to mention when it comes to his cards is he does not have a first Bowman because he was an international guy playing overseas, came over and he got a rookie card right away, which is first card is the pitching version. Some people do lean towards the hitting version, but the pitching version is what people want. And you can see here going for about $2,700. So you could get almost 3 of these to the Juan Soto. So I do have to give Shohei Ohtani, as far as value, a nod over taking a mortgage out to buy the Juan Soto card. But let's talk about my guy, Fernando Tatis. Nobody has more swag in the league than Fernando Tatis. And you would talk about the face of baseball. His face will be on every single shirt that every single kid wears across America. So you'll see his face more than any other player that we're talking about.
What are you talking about?
You know where we're gonna see his face though the first 3 months is on his couch because he's gonna be injured. So
That's right. He's getting ready. He'll still hit 50
just
home
like
runs.
every other year. Got to get those 3 months out of the way.
No, well, he's just getting ready. I mean, the Padres are stacked. You know, it's a great division for them to take. I know the Dodgers bulked up a little bit, but the Padres are there. They can go a deeper run. Maybe that's what they needed with Tatis is
No
to
help
sit out a
from
little
him.
bit longer. You know what? He's going to be doing commercials. He's going to be selling baseball for the rest of the league. All your guys' players that you latched onto. It's going to be Tatis is the reason baseball is being watched.
no, that's a stretch.
Can you get Bryce Harper socks, Bryce Harper pants, Bryce Harper underwear?
The first month of baseball, what's he going to be
He's
doing?
just gonna be
How's
out there
the
with
stats
his-
are going to be? Is he going to be hitting 300? Is he going to how many home runs?
Batting 1,000.
He is not going to play until the All-Star break.
Doesn't matter. He doesn't need to play.
No, what do you mean it doesn't
He's already
matter?
solidified himself as the face of baseball. And all these
Padre fan
young
now?
collectors. No, I'm just a Fernando Tatis fan because he is the face of baseball.
You keep on saying that. Why? Why is he the face?
Because
besides swag, he's got swag.
Because he's got
lit.
power, he's got speed, he can play shortstop like nobody. I mean, that play
Nobody?
like nobody else. He ran out into the like almost all the way to the fence to make a catch last year. That diving catch. I mean, it's just highlight reel worthy.
I believe that was Manny Machado, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was the one where he was running and he almost fell because he was.
Are you talking about the Air Tatis from a couple years ago, where
Yeah.
he looked like an Air Jordan? Look, here's the thing, and I feel like I'm defending everybody's picks right now, other than after going. But I went hard for my guy. But I totally get where Doug is coming from. If Tatis was healthy. Right now, he needs to prove he can stay healthy. Even last year, when he had a phenomenal year, I mean, I think his home run totals as a shortstop was like, it's like one of the most, it's one of the best power seasons for a shortstop baseball has ever seen. And he's 22, 23 years old. And I think playing a shortstop and playing the way he does, I think also helps out. And that's a star position, and he is a true star. But he just has to stay healthy. If he can't do that, then
I'm pretty sure your guy was hurt last year,
If he can't
too.
do that, then
I'm pretty sure Juan Soto was hurt
This
too.
might be a hot take, but if he can't do that, he's Zion Williamson for baseball players.
Actually, Dan's guy is the only one that's been consistently not injured.
Well, I mean, because he loves playing baseball. He wants to go out there. He fights through injuries is what he does because he's a team player. But you want to talk about Fernando Tatis and how great of a defensive shortstop he is. If I'm not mistaken, his first year, he actually led the NL in errors.
That's the other thing I think
They
going
give you a
against him.
mulligan in your first season.
So he is like he plays shortstop, quoted from Doug, like no other. Well, apparently, you're right. Nobody else has more errors than Fernando Tatis Jr.
Well, what do you guys specifically, and maybe Dan will get this, but
He's got
what do
hair, I'll
you
give him
remember
that.
specifically in the 80s and 90s growing up? Which players do you remember defensively and why?
Ozzie Smith, because he would do a flip.
Okay.
That was cool.
Ricky Henderson, what did he do when he caught the ball?
Usually catch it.
But no,
you're talking about the Barry Bonds.
and then the Barry Bonds. And that's what Tatis brings to the table. He makes every play memorable. So, yeah, he may drop one here and there, but
more than here or there, like most of the time.
But the flair to it is really what matters.
How is that good for your team? If you're like, hey, I try to like spice up this play a little bit, but I booted it.
We're not talking about you guys aren't saying who's the champion of baseball. We're saying who's the face. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he loses 120 games, but if he's out there selling and his face is selling
leads
tickets.
the league in errors, can't stay healthy, face of baseball.
And
I get it.
At 4,200 from a 2016 Bowman Chrome, I mean, you could almost get two of those before you can get one Juan
the White
Soto.
Sox were like, we're going to ship them away.
Well, the White Sox are
We're
done.
going to ship away the future face of baseball.
Well, they
Big
had,
game James Shields.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal.
Good deal. But they got Luis Robert, and they've got.
God, imagine if, I mean, I know we talk about it all the time, but Luis Robert, Yohan Moncada, Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, all those guys, and Fernando Tatis on the same team, it would not even be fair. I think they actually realized, you know what, this is not fair. We have to trade one of these guys for a big contract that's going to sink us for a couple of years.
You can have those lineups, but you still got to pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they got pitching.
The Angels have that issue. They got a stacked lineup. But
every free agent move they made this
besides
offseason
Shohei-
was pitchers.
Besides my guy, the face of baseball.
Yeah.
I just have a question for all of you too. I mean, what legends in baseball have your guys been compared to? Because Shohei is constantly compared to Babe Ruth over and over and over again. So what do you guys got?
Bryce Harper has been compared to Bryce Harper. That's it.
Nobody?
He's the greatest. You want to be compared to himself.
Nobody.
No, I mean, I don't know if I would go as far. I mean, you said Ted Williams.
He is the modern day Ted Williams.
That might be only Cody who's done that comparison.
I don't know, Muhammad Ali, changing.
Muhammad Ali!
For just changing the sport.
God bless
changing
it.
culture. I mean, Tatis is so good that there's not even anybody in the sport to compare him to in past because he just does stuff. So he's gonna create a culture phenomenon. He's gonna be compared to Muhammad Ali. He's gonna be compared to Jim Thorpe, one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Jim Thorpe? What the hell's going on here?
Doug's high.
We've lost it. We've lost
How
him.
many people did
We've
we
lost
just
him.
lose with the Jim Thorpe reference?
I like how didn't we start this segment with Mike Trout not being the face of baseball because
Yes.
that's her daddy's baseball.
Yeah, that's
And Doug just went Joe Thorpe on us.
Jim Thorpe.
Joe Thorpe.
Joe
It's
Thorpe.
it's Jim's younger brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of baseball in California, you think of Fernando Tatis.
Should have done this live.
You think of
Whoa.
baseball in United States, you think of Fernando Tatis.
Okay, what about globally? Who do you think of globally?
Shohei.
Thank
Fernando
you.
Tatis.
Shohei.
Look, I do think that if if Fernando Tatis is healthy, I do think he's got the potential to be a face of baseball because of all the reasons, like a Ken Griffey Jr., where he was great, but it was also because he wore the cat backwards. He looked like he was having fun out there. I think, though, the other thing that could go against him is I think Tatis is probably going to move positions at some point. I don't think he's going to stay at shortstop his whole career. We saw last year they tried to put him in the outfield. So if he moves to like center field, I mean center field maybe, but if he moves to a corner, then maybe it's not as alluring as a face of baseball.
And I'm glad you mentioned Ken Griffey Jr. because, like Ken Griffey, Fernando Tatis has a lineage in his family of baseball. So I don't know about your guys' guys. Is there a Juan Soto Sr. or
Juan Soto's little
Bryce
brother's
Harper
coming soon. Juan
Senior,
Soto's little
or
bro.
Shohei Ohtani Sr.
Bryce Harper's daddy. I don't know. I don't think he played ball.
No.
He did pitch to him, I think, in the home run derby, though.
He did. Yeah. He did.
By the looks of his dad, though, I think he might have been in like one of those those I don't know what were those shows, the biker shows in like the 2000s.
Oh, like Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, but or like those West Coast Customs guys. Like he looks like
yeah.
that. He's got that vibe going for him.
Which one of these guys can actually go to another sport and still perform? What do you think?
It's Ohtani.
What?
Shohei.
It's got to be Ohtani. I mean, the man is literally doing, Babe Ruth, but the closest we've seen to like a
would
Bo
Ohtani
Jackson.
be able to play besides baseball?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
all of them.
all of them.
All of them.
What?
All of them.
Wait, now is it two on? Are we teaming up now, or
would
what's
say-
going on?
He's
a big
I would
dude.
You
say-
picked
I-
Juan Soto.
I would say Harper can play in the NFL.
I actually think if Ohtani really tried, I think he could be a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I could see it.
I agree.
Tatis could probably be starting for the Orlando Magic. Also, probably could be in the surf competition at the same time. The guy's just well versed at any kind of sport. He's just good at everything. So that's why he's the face.
Do you know
Play
if
it
he
all.
surfs?
I think so.
You did, no,
think
yeah,
that
that's
was just
you're just guessing.
That's
right?
like saying everyone in California surfs. He's in
And that is
California, so
true.
he surfs.
That is true.
In San Diego, especially, he surfs.
Then that would
well.
mean Shohei also surfs. So
Yep.
there we go.
Yep.
Hitting the nar waves, I get it. That's one thing I know about surfing.
But once again, guys, go ahead and comment below on your pick out of these four. Who is the next face of baseball? We're going to be giving away a 2022 Heritage Box. So in the comments below here, but you also have to be subscribed. So make sure you subscribe here. Give us your pick and put why. Could it be because, Tatis is like Jim Thorpe? I mean, that could be a reason why. I think
Or
it's a
Joe.
great reason. Or Joe Thorpe. Bryce Harper could play football or something like that. And Juan Soto, he's overpriced, so don't put him.
Juan Soto, the next Ted Williams.
The modern day Ted Williams.
That's right.